Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another beautiful day here in Columbia, Maryland. I'm Jalen Ivy, your host with the most, and I hope you guys are having a good day out there. A nice breeze going here in Columbia. The sun is shining on this Dragons turf field, and we're about to get ready to play some ball. So today the Dragons are taking on the number 2 Nassau College Lions, who come into this game with a current record of 6-1, and some familiar opponents the Lions have played, similar to the Dragons, taking on CCBC Essex and Onondaga Community College, and both were wins for the Lions. But on the other side, you have the Dragons, who have also taken on Onondaga and CCBC Essex, but they have taken losses to both of those teams. So definitely a tough opponent we'll be facing here, as we just faced the number 3 CCBC Essex, taking a loss of 7-21, and hoping for definitely a different outcome here against the number 2 Nassau Lions. So this game is about to get underway here in just about 2.5 minutes. And the Dragons do come into this game with a 2-7 record on the season, and this is their last home game of the season. So just hoping for, I'm sure, a different outcome here for the Dragons, and just to get a pace going into their last game of the regular season coming up in a few days here. So we'll be back shortly after this in about 2 minutes. And thank you all for tuning in currently. right, everyone. If you are tuning in, we are experiencing a slight delay here, just taking care of some facility things quickly. So this game will be underway shortly. And again, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back soon.
I guess there's a piece of the turf that's coming up, and it's a safety hazard, so they're trying to find a way to keep it from coming up.
Alrighty, so we're lining things up back out here.
Starting in goal for Nassau, number 45, Michael Tittman, and for Howard, number
Live here on defense as this game goes underway. And that faceoff will go in the favor of the Dragons here. Excuse me, actually it will go in favor of the Lions. So the Lions will get things started on offense in this first quarter. So a tumble there just to start the ball, and a loose ball here. And a reset of the clock, and the Dragons will have it. So going back from right to left, it will be the Dragons looking to get a clear here. Their first attempt.
And that was a great effort by Rory Blanchard, who checked from behind to come back and be able to take that ball off the stick of Kelly Drajan, who had a free pass all the way to goal if it wasn't for the interception of Blanchard.
So taking a little bit of time here are the Dragons in this opening quarter with a great start here, getting their first look on offense early. So Joe Patty trying to make a move to the inside, goes around to Karam. Taking a shot is Hathaway, but it'll go wide, but the Dragons will stay with it.
Now it's good movement from Howard early on, working it from behind the net, using that advantage of having the X and quick passing is what Howard needs. We didn't see it in their last game against CCBC Essex of getting a sustained offensive possession, and they're doing it in this first one right off the bat.
Absolutely, Mark. So taking a spin move around, passes that over, and just looking to stay with it. And the Dragons will get it. So time still rolling off. 7 seconds to go on the shot clock here. And I believe the Dragons will just take that shot clock violation. First one of this game here. So a little bit of, look like a lack of communication there just to try to make a play at the end of that, but the Dragons will turn it over. And pressure there. Dragons putting a lot of pressure on that defense, but he will get away. That's number 2 for the Lions, R. Kelly Trajane. So the Lions will get the clear here. And making a move on the inside is Maisel. And a first and goal here for the Lions.
Lions goal scored by number 4, Christian Maisel.
So unassisted goal here for Christian Maisel of the Nassau Lions. He gets his 14th goal of the season, which was currently at 13 previously.
And for the Lions, that was their first real offensive possession, and you could see as soon as Maisel had the short stick defensive midi on him, just immediately dodged to his right and able to bounce in the top left corner. Have to imagine that Nassau will continue to try to take those one-on-one opportunities.
So Nassau will come up with it on the second possession here. And again, just something to make note of, as stated previously, the Dragons are down their top 2 defenders here in this match. So their midfield and defense does look a little different here on this side of the field.
Yeah, and what that means is you're going to see Jameson Smith, who's normally the long stick midfielder, is going to play as the close defender, and you're going to see a whole lot of John Kulo, number 19, as the long stick midfielder today for Howard.
So a quick save there by Cheney, who is in the goal for Wendell, who is in goal for Howard. And a clear for Ethan Varani will be good.
Keep talking about how Howard has that lack of depth. Nassau bringing a full roster with them. So for Howard, when you have the ball, trying to slow it down, really milk the clock as much as you can, and just shorten this game as much as possible. If you're Howard, you're going to basically have the same 6 attackers all game long, and you just want to get the best possession you can, use that shot clock as much as you can, and just try to find a quality chance.
Absolutely. So Varani will come back up with it. Taking some time here, just moving the ball around are the Dragons. Look like they're trying to tire out the defense for the Lions here. As you said, Mark, they have the same 6 attackers on offense, so just trying to make a move. And Varani will take the shot, and it's saved in goal. But the Dragons will stay with it in a loose ball here still. But Free Denikos will pick it up. And a pass on the inside to Karam, but just wide of that goal. And racing to get the save here. But it will go in favor of the Lions.
And a great hustle play by Cyrus Friedenikos, as you mentioned, was able to keep that in and keep possession for Howard. That's some of the hustle plays we didn't necessarily see on Wednesday against Essex, but great job by him to be able to keep possession. And like the idea of what he tried to feed in to Karam right by the net, and Karam just kind of tried to slap it into the goal. It didn't quite work out, but again, have to say a good offensive possession for Howard. Didn't get a goal out of it, but at least you're getting quality chances early on.
Absolutely. Definitely a lot of great possessions here early on for the Dragons. Like you said, didn't see a lot of those against CCBC Essex, but it definitely seems like a change of pace here in Columbia. So another loose ball there. But stay with the Lions. So some more ball moving here around the goal. And pressure here. And coming on the inside, trying to get around those defenders of the Dragons, but no chance there. Moving it back out.
Gotta say one thing about these Nassau uniforms, though. Look how big those numbers are. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. You can see the brightest day.
Oh, it's these are some of the best uniforms I've ever seen as a person who has to work these games. I love it.
Especially those contrasting colors definitely help out a lot being able to see on this field. And still trying to make a move on the inside, but met with this long stick of Kobe Brown. So Kobe Brown did a great job on defense there to keep James Hegel out of the way of the goal.
And once again, we see Howard with struggles in the clear. It always seems that whenever they try to pass it short over the middle, they seem to run into issues and a lot of traffic and clutter that causes turnovers. One would love to see that ball go wider initially and then maybe bring it back.
So a long shot for Capelli, and he will get that goal for the Lions. Just astonishing right there for Capelli. That was a crazy shot.
Lions goal, scored by number 22, Nick Capelli.
So first 2 goals of this game unassisted on both sides. So just good looks here for Nassau starting out. And can't state this enough, 2 of the Dragons' top defenders here. And the Dragons, even though they are down their top 2 defenders, they're doing not a terrible job here on defense, actually doing pretty well. So just hoping for a continued push here. And Eric Herrera will come up with it, getting the ground ball for the Dragons. And he's trying to make a move on the inside. Met with a little bit of pressure, but it will go backwards, but scooped up with the long stick. It will stay with the Dragons. Spinning out there for the Dragons, taking the shot on the inside, moving it over, and Karam will take the shot. And a great passing there by the Dragons. So just a lot of ball movement there. Jamison Smith making the move to get down the court, and a little bit of a stoppage here. There's a broken stick on the field, but play will resume. So it'll stay with the Dragons. Great job there by Jamison Smith on that play, though.
Yeah, it was, and it was a good job by taking advantage of the kind of chaos that happened from the initial missed pass, but Howard pushed the ball quickly and got another quality chance.
So looking to get back on defense as quickly as possible here are the Dragons after rolling that one out of bounds, forcing a turnover. So a good pass on the inside there to get that ball across the midline. And still moving fast here are the Lions. Sending it on the inside, and another goal for the Lions. Give that one to Darian Murray.
Lions goal, scored by number 9, Charles Andrea, assisted by number 50, Anthony Parisi.
Excuse me, that was
Howard.
Charles Andrea for the Lions. And give the assist to Anthony Parisi there. So 3-0 here against these Nassau Lions. Quick timeout here taken by the Dragons, and we'll be back shortly after this. So a quick timeout here for the Dragons, but we are back in action here. And a stop by the refs real quick. And I think we'll have a redo of this face-off.
Yeah, I think that's the classic referee inadvertent whistle.
So quick win there for the Lions. Won by number 25, Tyler Kuprianchik, who is the lead face-off man for these Lions. So Kuprianchik has sitting at a 120 to 148 win and loss against here in the face-offs. A loose ball, but it will stay with the Lions. So the Lions still do lead here 3-0 against these Dragons. So a quick timeout, hopefully to talk to defense a little bit and just continue to get their heads and keep pushing here. So moving it around. That ball sent over to Lazaro. Lazaro sends it over to Hegel. And a loose ball by Hegel. A number of loose balls here by these Nassau Lions, but they will retain possession. So Lazaro trying to get onto the inside. Lazaro, excuse me. And trying to take a shot was Maisel, but he'll come off of it. Maisel trying to get around, taking the shot, and that was a tad bit wide there. Just a misread, I believe.
And just 5 on the shot clock. Nassau looks like they're going to try to force it.
And what almost looked like it could have been a bit of a goal there will roll out of bounds and will be turned over and go with the Dragons.
But if you're Coach Faust, that's exactly what you want to see. You call it a timeout to try to settle your team down, and then you get a stop there. Now see if you can try to get some kind of offense going.
And again, that same pass you talked about earlier, Mark, just that pass trying to get it over across the midfield line, just right into the hands of Nassau. And a number of lost possessions here on offense for the Dragons. So back on offense are the Lions. So calls being played here, taking some time. It's Brady Dolan who has it. He's looking to go around, sending it kind of on the outside there and trying to go on the inside. And it's loose here and scooped up by the Dragons. So
that was a great save by Wendell. He recognized that the attacker was coming from behind the net. It was a high-to-high shot, and Wendell was in the right position for that one.
So another one of those passes across midfield, but it will be successful here for getting the clear. So Jamison Smith. So Joe Patty here, trying to make a little things happen on offense for the Dragons. Johnny Karam will take the shot, and it's saved by the Lions.
And again, Howard did a good job of recognizing the fact that a Nassau defender had fallen down. So what do? They moved the ball quickly, forcing the Lions to shift their defense around quickly. They found an open shooter for Howard in Karam, and unfortunately for him, that's just a great save by Titman.
So some more movement here. Trent Hillis swings it over to Barani. Barani looking at it, and another fall there by the Lions. So J.C. Herrick sitting it behind, but just a little too much there on the pass.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because if Herrick had hit that pass, you have Hathaway who's curling from around the net. Nobody was on him. He would have been able to dunk that right into the net.
So Herrick looking to make a little bit of an attempt there to knock that ball out of the Lions' hands, but they will get the clear. So Shorty against Shorty here. And a shot and goal there. Just unbelievable by these Nassau Lions.
Lions goals Scoreboard number 9, Charles Andrea.
So Charles Andre gets his second of this game here. So Andrea, with 4 goals on the season, adds 2 more to make it 6. And still lose, but Harrell doing a great job. Also coming off of an injury here in some previous games, but putting putting the work in for the Dragons.
Yeah, and Howard's going to need every one of those face-off wins that Hurl can provide them. This is huge for Howard to be able to get the ball back after giving up another goal and trying to see if they can get another quality shot. For Howard, again, it's just got to be about those crisp, clean ball movement, move it quickly, and just try to keep finding good open shooting opportunities. They've found them so far, just, got to sometimes just have enough opportunities before one finds the back of the net.
Absolutely. So taking a little bit of time here and switching up the offense. Joe Patty comes back on. So Patty head to head here with Enright. And Patty just circling around the back of that net. So trying to make a move. Comes on the inside, but met with a lot and takes a little bit of a stumble here, but passes it off to Varani. Varani sends that over to Frida Nikos. Frida Nikos to Karam. Just back down. Frida Nikos will take it and met with pressure once more, but that will be a shot clock violation on the Dragons. And defense is coming back out onto this field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Howard, they had less than 10 seconds on the shot clock. Patty had come from behind net and drew the double team, just couldn't get rid of the ball quickly enough to the point where they can find the open man out of it.
So Lions will have it. Still 4-0 here in this first quarter with under 1:30 left to play. So loose ball. So moving 22 versus 22 here. And a shot will go wide, but still picked up by the Lions.
I think that one actually hit the metalwork around the goal frame, and Nassau once again kind of fortunate the ball bounced right back to him, and they get a fresh 60 with you're holding last shot. You've got a 4-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so Nassau can just hold on to it and get one last shot in this quarter.
So moving around the back of the net. Back to the top. Like you said, Mark, definitely using all this time that they have, knowing that this is the last possession of this game, or can be at least. And loose ball there, and must have spoke too soon, but it will still be picked up by the Lions. And Capelli will take a shot, but that will go high. And that flies past the gate and all the way outside of the field.
9 on the shot clock, 12 on the game clock for the first quarter.
And a bit of a mispass there. Scooped up still. And loose ball, but nothing there for Nassau in this final quarter. So the Dragons so this game against the Dragons and the Lions heads into the second, 4-0 with Nassau leading. We'll be back shortly after this. Back in action here in this second quarter. And not a huge lead here for Nassau, 4-0 here, but they will get the face-off, they will get the face-off win and a successful clear. So a quick and early shot here by Nassau, number 25, Tyler Krupyanchik, but will go wide.
And Howard caught a break there as Harrell had taken off like he thought he had the ball in his stick. Nassau had an odd man opportunity there, and like you mentioned, Krupyanchik had a good look at it and just missed that top right corner.
So more than enough time on the shot clock here for them to take some time off in these opening seconds of the second quarter. So a lot of movement there, trying to get around those two Dragon defenders, but just unsuccessful. But it will get sent back out, and a mismatch and a goal for number 4, Christian Mazel. Just finding that opening there and moved around by the Dragons. So Gavin Gianeski just tried to stay with Mazel, but just unsuccessful.
Scorer number 4, Christian Mazel, assisted by number 22, Nick Capelli. And initially, Howard actually had a good switch on the initial play there as Gavin Gianeski was able to switch off his man, cover the curl around the screen, but unfortunately he got sucked into the middle a little bit, got caught ball watching, lost his man, and yeah, Mazo just had enough room to really find the corner that he wanted there.
So Harrell gets it this time, and looking to keep going there is Arrogant, almost pushed out of bounds, but he will still stay with it. And another pass here, and just lack of coordination there. JT Herrick just could not come up with it. And a great job there by Eric Harrell to just keep things going here after being met with a lot of pressure. Just an unsuccessful pass by Herrick to just get things going on offense. So a second opening possession here for Nassau. Just taking some time, and what almost looked like a pass to the inside. And a shot taken, but saved by Wendell. So
looks like Howard actually switched goalkeepers between quarters, so now it's going to be Cheney that's in goal for Howard.
Absolutely. So Braden Cheney back in goal for the Dragons. Cheney will get the save on that one. So Dragons getting their first look on offense here. So Patty makes his way back onto offense for the Dragons into his attack position. So Joe Patty in that right corner, sending it behind. Karam will take the shot, but it will be a goal. Gianni Karam with the first goal for the Dragons. So a great job there by Karam. It looked like it just got out of the hands of Michael Tittman and just kind of rolled right between his legs and found its way into the back of the net.
Howard goal, scored by number 13, Gianni Karam.
So Dragons finally get their way onto the scoreboard. 5-1 here against these Lions. So Trent Hillis moving back onto offense for the Dragons to help defend against these Nassau Lions. And this is definitely a lot different change of pace here against these Nassau Lions, who are ranked number 2 in the NJCAA, versus the game previously played against the number 3 CCBC Essex. And a number of loose balls there, and the ball's still loose, and it will be scooped up here by Ethan Ronnie, but loose once more, and he will take a dive. And will have a call against the Lions, so it will go with the Dragons.
And that's just a great defensive hustle play by Ethan Ferrani, who's normally just an attacking midfielder, comes up with a big one for Howard. Now they have a chance for a fast break.
A fast break shot is taken. It will go into the goal.
Howard goal. Scoreboard number 4, Joe Hathaway. Assisted by 22, Trent Hillis.
So a great job there by Ethan Ronnie getting things going on offense for the Dragons, opening up ways for the fast break here. And that ball will go in. Joe Hathaway with the goal, give the assist to Trent Hillis. So 2-5 here. Things are turning up for the Dragons at the moment. And it would, but that face-off win will go in favor of the Lions at the moment. Just trying to get this ball across the field. And still with a lot of pressure here are the Dragons. Trying to make some changes and nothing yet there. And a violation against the Lions here. Great defense by these Dragons. And some whistles blowing. Not sure what the call is. So it seems that the Nassau Lions head coach tried to call a timeout in attempts to get the clear, and the refs are just coming to speak to him quickly, just letting him know that a timeout can be called in that situation. Likely called the timeout in hopes to save the Lions from an unsuccessful clear. So a legal procedure there called against Nassau, and a 30-second penalty will go against them.
Nassau penalty, illegal procedure. It's a 30-second penalty, served by number 20, Ryan Steckman-Buck.
So the Dragons will play with a man up here, looking for their third goal of this game to make it a two-goal game here, two-possession game. And Freedom Eagles will send that over to Varani, and Varani with a goal for the Dragons. Cheers all along the sideline here against these Nassau Lions. A great job here by the Dragons.
Scored by number 7, Ethan Varani. Man up, assisted by number 17, Cyrus Friedenikus.
So a man-up goal here for the Dragons. Ethan Varani with the goal. Cyrus Friedenikus with the assist. Great job there by the Dragons. 3-5 here, and this game is rolling now.
Yeah.
Dragons feeling good.
If you're Nassau, you're just making a couple of unforced errors, and you're just allowing Howard back into this game. The Dragons are allowing themselves the chance to claw back into it and keep fighting.
Absolutely, and Rory Blanchard will get the successful clear here and the face-off win for the Dragons and try to take that early shot, but just misfired just a little bit, and that ball rose out of his stick. But the Dragons will get the ground ball and will stay with it here to make something else happen on offense.
And for Nassau, there's maybe a certain amount of taking a team for granted and not taking your opponent very seriously. For Howard, obviously there's a lot of talent on this team still, and given an opportunity, they have the ability to play against these big teams like Nassau.
So quick timeout there after JT Herrick seemed to get bunched up just a little bit behind the net, but the Dragons will still stay with it. 41 on the shot clock.
Timeout, Howard.
And the Dragons will take a timeout. So we'll be back shortly after this. quick timeout here, but we are back in action. 41 seconds on the shot clock for the Dragons, and just looking to continue this momentum and take it in, give it everything they got. So Frida Nikos will have it. Just looking to get around here. He'll go behind the net. JT Herrick following behind him, setting the screen. And Frida Nikos will set that for Patty, but Patty just unable to get that shot there. But a good setup there by Frida Nikos, just finding Joe Patty and able to take the swing. So still Dragon possession.
Varani's got a short stick here. Would love to see him be aggressive and try to go after goal here, but instead he's just going to walk it back behind the goal, and they're probably going to have to take another shot clock violation.
So 3 seconds. Trying to get around as fast as possible, but shot clock violation, as you said, Mark.
Oh, and then it's going to be a delay of game as Varani threw the ball away after it and just compounds one mistake with another.
And Foul's not happy about that one either.
Penalty on Howard's number 7, Ethan Varani. Delay of game. It's a 30-second penalty.
So Varani finds his way into the penalty box here, 30 seconds on his penalty, and the Lions will be playing with a man up. So immediate move, trying to find a way onto the inside here. Are the Lions just moving that ball around currently? And Dragons trying to stay man-to-man as much as possible, just moving that ball around, and a pass on the inside, which likely would have been a goal for the Lions, just rolls right out of bounds, and it will go with the Dragons. So quick turnover by the Lions, and the Dragons will get possession back. 7 seconds left on the penalty clock for Ethan Varani.
Give a lot of credit to Jamison Smith on that last defensive play. He was able to come off of his man and do a great job of putting the pressure on and not allowing any room for Nassau to get a shot off. They did a good job of trying to move it to the middle and might have had an open shot, but again, having to force that pass in the middle rather than getting an open look from outside worked out for Howard on defense side.
Absolutely. Now let's see if they can get some open looks here on offense. So even man on the playing field. Joe Patty will take the shot, but it will be saved by Tittman. And a reset here on the shot clock after bouncing off the goal. Dragons looking to move around. Patty met with a lot of pressure there, and Karam tried to set the screen, but still found a way, and Patty will spin out, passing that over to Frida Nikos, and still picked up by Patty after the save by Tittman. So Patty trying to circle around here against this defender for the Lions. Passing that over to Herrick. Herrick sends it on to the inside, but met with a lot of pressure there is Hathaway, and that ball will be loose and scooped up by the Lions.
Yeah, and that was just not a good decision by Herrick. He set up Hathaway to get hit on the pass there, and there's nothing you can do out of that position because you're just passing it into a crowd. He had no room to work with. Should have just kept working around the outside there.
Absolutely. Definitely met a wall of defenders there on the inside. So a shot will be taken, but saved, and another save by Cheney. So back-to-back saves there for Cheney in goal.
And we've seen Howard switch their goalkeepers back and forth, kind of going with whoever has the hot hand. Today, it might be Cheney's day as he's come in and had done a great job stabilizing the game for Howard in goal.
Absolutely, and Dragons don't have much time, and a great pass there by Braden Cheney, sending that on the inside to Isaac Herbert.
And a good look there by Isaac Herbert. He had grabbed the pass went up, immediately dished it off to Hathaway. Hathaway made a great shot towards net and just missed. And unfortunately, Howard is called for being offsides. Too many men on across the midline there.
So good clear there for the Lions. So a little bit of move here, taking some time off the shot clock. Just trying to keep the Dragons in distance. Still 3-5 in this game. And a quick shot trying to get on the inside, but Braden Cheney yet again with a save for the Dragons.
And Cheney did a great job of reading that one, where you see Lazaro, who had cut through the middle, but as soon as he did, he showed a high shot. Cheney was able to anticipate that and read high and able to save it cleanly.
Absolutely. So back on offense are the Dragons. So setting things back up are the Dragons. And making the changes on offense. So Hillis will come back off, and a pass over by Ethan Verani would just bounce right out off the tip of Trent Hillis's stick. Just unable to capture that pass. So movement back and forth here, just trying to set up things on defense for the Dragons, and a pass will go wide. That was shot by Charles Andrea.
And we saw Howard do a better job of shifting their defense over and providing help. We saw earlier that Andrea was able to dodge his man and get his way inside, but this time Howard did bring in the help. The hot man came in to assist, and Andrea had to just force a shot under a lot of contact and pressure.
Absolutely. So getting around his man, Capelli, and a shot taken but saved by Braden Cheney. A reset of the shot clock that might have bounced off the goal there. And cheers from the Nassau sideline as the ref calls that in favor of the Lions. But still, a lot of pressure here from the Dragons. A great job there by the Dragons to just keep those Lions circling around. But a swipe on the inside and a shot taken by number 4, Christian Mazel. But Braden Cheney just stand on top of every single thing that comes his way.
But again, another great job by the Howard defense being able to shift over and not make that an open look, having to make Mazel shoot around the defender.
Absolutely, and that same play from previously gave the Lions another goal on that scoreboard, so absolutely great job by the Dragons.
Talk about all these players that are having to fulfill multiple roles. You got Blanchard out there, the face-off specialist, who's playing a lot of defensive midfield and doing a good job of it at the moment.
Absolutely, and a turnover there by the Lions. So trying to send that over, and we will have a flag fly on the play. The continued movement, Kobe Brown will send that over, and the Dragons will get the clear. Rory Blanchard trying to send that over to Verani, but that ball loose. Still on the ground here, but stoppage here. We will have an unnecessary roughness call against the Lions.
Penalty on Nassau number 1, Joe Lazaro. Unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
So 1 minute penalty against Joe Lazaro for the Lions. So man up for the Dragons once more. And the previous man up that they had, they were able to get a goal out of it. So Cyrus Friedenigo sends that to Karam, but that bounces high off of the net. And it will stay with the Dragons. Gianni Karam just racing to the sideline to keep that in possession of the Dragons.
Yeah, but what about Elijah Porter, who came across the defense for Nassau? Karam had a wide open look, and Porter just stuck his stick out there and was able to block it away. Great defense.
So Cyrus freed Nikos. Give him the goal here against these Lions. Make it a one possession game.
Howard goal scored by number 17, Cyrus Friedenikus, assisted by number 41, JT Herrick.
So a great look there by JT Herrick just to swing the ball around. Dragons doing a great job swinging this ball side to side here. And JT Herrick finds Cyrus Friedenikus wide open, and Friedenikus takes a shot and gets the goal for the Dragons. 4-5 here. Just a one possession game, like I said before, and the Dragons will have yet another offensive opportunity here to make it a tied ball game.
That's a huge face-off win for Harrell. You've got all the momentum right now, and getting the ball back on the face-off win. Just if you're Nassau right now, you have to be just a little bit nervous. Perhaps you didn't come into this game prepared.
Absolutely, and definitely, like you said, never underestimate your opponent, no matter who they are. And like you said, the preparation here, just Nassau likely just came into this game thinking it was going to be just an easy pass, but Dragons are not letting up here against the Lions.
Regardless of whatever the result is at the end of this day, this is the best game that we have seen Howard play all year long. Gives them a little bit of good feelings as we get closer and closer to the end of the regular season, heading into playoff time.
Absolutely. So able to make a split there, but trying to sit on the inside to Friedenikus, who was wide open for that shot, and able to get an open look, but it will be a turnover for the Dragons.
Yeah, that is unfortunate because Friedenikus was able to just dunk that right in, just couldn't make the catch cleanly. I think he was trying to shoot while catching at the same time, and it just didn't quite connect.
So moving quickly here is number 15, James Hegel, and he'll take the shot on the inside, but saved by Cheney. And a great save there by Braden Cheney, and the Dragons will come up with it. Kobe Brown with the long stick, but a loose ball there, and a lot of pressure, and not surprised here for a stoppage, and it will stay with the Lions. So running straight into a lot of pressure there, James Hegel running into a number of Dragons bodies, and just what seemed to be a wall, but a quick timeout here. Score is currently 4-5 with the Dragons trailing by 1.
Timeout.
We'll be back shortly after this. So we're back in action here, and looking to keep their foot on the gas are the Dragons. So 4-5, as stated before. Dragons only trailing by 1 possession here. But the Lions will get things going in possession after this timeout. A minute left on the game clock in this second quarter. So Dragons doing a good job on defense there, and a great job there by Herbert to just put the pressure on a loose ball, and it will be scooped up by Rory Blanchard, and Blanchard making a move onto the right side of the field, and Blanchard will get the successful clear here. So Isaac Herbert trying to make a move, and no timeouts here for the Dragons, so nothing can be called. Dragons just have to find a way to get inside that goal, but it was scooped. Loose ball there, and it will be scooped up by the Lions.
And there's a good look there as Hathaway able again to curl around goal, had it on his favored right side, and unfortunately just a great save there by Michael Tittman.
So 4 seconds left here in this second quarter, and a long shot will be taken, but picked up by Braden Cheney. So going into the half.
At the end of the first half, Nassau 5, Howard 4.
So going into the half here, the Dragons will be trailing the Nassau Lions 4-5. A big difference here from their last game against the number 3 CCBC Essex. But a great start here for the Dragons. So a 10-minute break here, and we'll be back shortly after this. We're back in action here. Once again, thank you all for tuning in here. I'm your host, Jalen Ivy, and I'm joined with Mark Winkle here. So a great first half by the Dragons. 4-5 game here. Dragons only trailing by 1.
Yeah, and as we discussed, that is the best half of lacrosse we have seen from Howard all season long. It was a rough start. The first quarter didn't go as planned, but that second quarter was just completely, I wouldn't say dominated by Howard, but they fought for the breaks that they got, and they took advantage of every opportunity they had to claw their way back in this game. Now all of a sudden it's only a one-goal game. You're within striking distance. Just try to limit your mistakes and keep giving yourselves opportunities.
Absolutely, Mark. And an early shot there taken by number 22, Nick Capelli, but that is just straight into the stick of Braden Cheney.
Straight into it, you are right. You know, if that's one of those shots where he made a good dodge, got into a good shooting opportunity, but instead of finding the bottom corner, even going top right and trying to sneak it in, puts it right where his stick was, and he didn't even have to move his stick at all.
Absolutely. And Braden Cheney sends that over to Kobe Brown, and a loose ball here. Fighting for it are the Lions and Dragons, but just a loss of a possession there by the Dragons to get their first offensive look. So Kobe Brown did make a good move just getting past those defenders across the midfield. And a loose ball once more, and it'll be the Dragons that come up with, that'll be number 35, Mason Bowler. Excuse me, that'll be number 36 for the Dragons, Jamison Smith.
And Jamison Smith has had a fantastic game on defense for Howard. As we mentioned at the early parts of the game, was the long stick midfielder for much of the season, now forced to be put into that close defensive role, and he has made a number of plays so far in this game.
Absolutely. And almost a misfire there by Joe Hathaway to send that over to JT Herrick, and Herrick will send that onto the inside to Karam. Karam will take the shot, but it will bounce just wide, and Tittman will clear that for the Lions to move back on offense here. And a quick move there, heading down the field. Lions will take the shot, and in wide open net, Braden Cheney just comes out the net shortly, and the Lions find a way to get inside and get the goal.
Nassau goal, scored by number 50, Anthony Parisi, assisted by number 15, James Hagel.
So Anthony Parisi will get the goal for the Lions and give the assist to Hegel.
Yeah, and that was a great fast break by Nassau. They moved the ball well. As soon as, like you said, Cheney had to come out to try to take away the shot, at least the angle of it, because Parisi was wide open. Unfortunately for him, Parisi was still able to get around him.
Absolutely. And coming up with it quick once more are the Lions. So looking to get another goal here. And almost a save there by Cheney, but loose ball and reset of the shot clock here, and the Dragons will be moving from right to left, looking to get on offense and get things started.
Yeah, it's a great save by Cheney, but also the big thing is fighting for those ground balls. John Kulo comes out of nowhere to be able to snag that ball away and give Howard possession. Those are the hustle plays you have to have for Howard.
Absolutely. And Marani met with a lot of pressure on defense, just trying to get over, on offense, and that ball will be loose by Rory Blanchard, and it was almost a successful clear for the Dragons.
Yeah. Blanchard tried to toe the line and couldn't quite, but oh my goodness, Hathaway just had his helmet knocked off of him, and that's going to draw a penalty from Nassau.
Absolutely. Great job there, though, by Hathaway to just move, get things going for the Dragons, and we will have a holding penalty against the Lions.
County on Nassau. Number 2, R. Kelly Trajine, holding. It's a 30-second penalty.
So a 30-second penalty against the Lions. It'll be R. Kelly Trajine who gets the penalty and will sit in the box for the Lions. So man up here, 30 seconds. And I'm sure the Dragons are looking to get a great possession here. And Gianni Karam will get the goal just as quickly as I said, looking for the possession and the output. They will absolutely get so. Gianni Karam with the goal.
Dragons man up goal, scored by number 13, Gianni Karam. Assisted by number 17, Cyrus Friedenicus.
So Cyrus Friedenicus just able to find Karam on that outside wing, and Karam just sends it away and finds the back of the net for the Dragons. So making it a 5-6 game yet again.
And that's one of those passes where you skip a man along the outside, and by passing it across, you are able to make it so it's tough for the defense and the goalkeeper to shift quickly enough to get there. And it was a great shot by Karam. You can actually hear Coach Faust, the possession before, saying that, Gianni, you got to finish that one. You got to finish that one. What's he doing?
Absolutely.
The very next shot, he puts it right into the corner.
Right away for the Dragons. Great job by Karam and Friedenicus. So Dragons still getting some great looks on offense, just trying to match goals here with the Lions. So one apiece here. The Dragons still trail by 1 goal. So trying to get around and make sure they're still playing man-to-man. Are the Dragons? Kobe Brown putting some pressure here on the Lions. Still moving. Rory Blanchard, once again, as you stated, Mark, with the shorty, playing some defense for the Dragons, and a shot will be taken by the Lions, but just going wide, but it will stay in possession. And 28 on the shot clock.
Watch number 15 here. The play is called for him. Here he comes from behind the net. And I imagine, based on what I heard from the play of the call, watch for the double screen and see if he comes around from the back.
Absolutely making his move here. Sending it out to the inside, but it will go wide. Shot taken by Steckman Buck. And still 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Now we're going to see the same play called. This time it's going to be for Brady Dolan.
And that ball is just thrown away here. But a shot clock violation against the Lions, and the Dragons will have it. So moving on offense here, Mason Bowler moving down with the long stick, but right into the stick of Tittman. So Bowler trying to get anything there on offense for the Dragons, but just unable to come up with it.
I was actually at practice for the men's lacrosse game, or men's lacrosse team the other day, and with the defensive players, they were really focusing on trying to take those high bounce shots with the long sticks, and that was not it from Mason Bowler. He had the opportunity there and instead just went a high-to-high shot and made an easy save for Tittman.
Absolutely. So still early. So a flag here. Pretty sure that'll be called against the Dragons. That'll be number 36, Jamison Smith.
And unfortunately, it looks like James Hagel was injured in a spot where the trainer can't do much to help. Penalty on Howard, number 36, Jamison Smith, slashing. It's a 1-minute penalty.
So Jamison Smith will enter the penalty box for a full penalty time of 1 minute for slashing. So man down here for the Dragons. But great movement here on defense. Trying not to let it in right into the body of Cheney. And he shakes that one off. The Dragons keep on playing.
I'll tell you what, I could hear that hitting Cheney from here. That was a hard shot that Cheney just took right off his chest and stood strong on it.
And Cheney just trying to keep that off the Dragons, and a great job by the Dragons to try to step in there. That was number 19, John Kulo, but just unsuccessful, and the Lions find the bottom left of that goal.
Nassau man up goal, scored by number 4, Christian Mazel, assisted by number 18, AJ Molinari.
So Mazel will get another goal here for the Lions and give that assist to number 18, AJ Molinari. So the Lions take a two-goal lead here, 5-7 against the Dragons. So Rory Blanchard back into the face-off circle for the Dragons. Loose ball, and Rory Blanchard will get it. And we will have a flag fly as we have calls coming from the sidelines, but not surprising flag there.
Yeah, you could watch Kuprianchik, who used his stick to kind of wrap his arm around the body of Blanchard and kind of pull him back. I think Blanchard did a good job making sure to sell it, make sure the referee saw that he was getting held back, but nonetheless, it's going to be a free opportunity for Howard and then the 30-second holding call, I would imagine.
Absolutely. So just as you said, Mark, Kupriyanche called for holding, entering into the penalty box. 30 seconds.
Penalty on Nassau, number 25, Tyler Kupriyanchik, holding, 30-second penalty.
So Dragons playing with the man up here once more and make it yet another a one-goal game against the Lions. So bunched up are those defenders for the Lions, trying to keep things off of the inside for them. And Friedenico's trying to send it over to Ronnie, thinking things were open, but JT Herrick getting a look, and Karam will take the shot, but bouncing off the chest of Tippmann as well. Racing off the field to get back on defense are these Dragons. So even men on the playing field once more. The Lions will have it. So Dragons trying to get into position here and figure out where everyone is. A loose ball, but still scooped up by the by the Lions.
And that was a good stop by Nassau on the man-up opportunity. Howard moved the ball around well again, and it was Karam that they were trying to set up for the shot. And just, again, a great save by Tippmann. He read it well and was able to slide over, get in good position. Kind of like what we saw on the opposite side with Cheney. He took that one right off the chest. Another really hard shot, but stood strong on the shot.
Absolutely. A number of loose balls here by the Lions, and just still able to get in possession. And a loose ball there by Jamison Smith. And still loose. Nothing yet here. And stoppages here. A number of whistles called, and waiting to see what these refs will call.
Nassau's got to be careful. If these players come off of the bench area and into play, that's actually an automatic 2-game suspension.
Yeah.
So they really have to be careful with all this action happening right in front of their bench to be composed and not come off that bench area.
Absolutely, and a lot of discussion here back and forth on both sides, Dragons and Lions. So Lions moving down, be Christian Maisel sends it out. So a lot of tension here, in the Lions bench being told to back up as they did come a little closer to the sideline. Tensions do seem to be rising here.
So watch for Hagel again, coming from behind the net here.
Especially with that same blade being called once more. Trying to find the opening here, but a number of Dragons' bodies surrounding the goal.
And Herbert did a great job of pushing Hagel away from goal and making him go towards the outside, not giving him the look towards the middle that he wanted to get.
So still moving around the net. And trying to set the screen, I believe, but nothing compared to what Dragons are putting up on defense right now. And Dragons doing a great job on defense as well. 14 seconds left on the shot clock, but a shot will be taken by number 15, James Hegel. And he will find his way into the back of the net for the goal.
Nassau goal, scorer number 15, James Hagel.
So Hagel finds the back of the net for the Lions, making it a 5-8 game against the Dragons.
And that was just one of those plays. That's a great individual play by Hagel. Curled around the defender, and that was just a rocket shot into the top left corner.
So So the Dragons will have it. A great job out there by Eric Harrell, who found his way back into the face-off circle. So Joe Patty pushed back onto the outside, but sends it behind to Karam, but Karam will send it back to Patty. And there was a bit of an opening there in that inside corner, but just unable to find a way as he was met with a number of Lions bodies pushing to the outside. So Joe Hathaway sending that on the inside, trying to get that over to Patty, but it will be a ball that rolls out of bounds, and it still will be Dragons ball.
Yeah, referee signaled that it was tipped by the Nassau defender. Howard caught a break there.
So the Dragons do get a bit of a break, and Patty, and met with some pressure, and it will be Dragons ball here.
Nassau with a great defense play. It's Elijah Porter once more who just stood up Joe Patty and just shoved him off. Got the ball loosened up, and then Patty got called for the loose ball hold, and Nassau with possession.
So a long shot taken, and Braden Cheney just tried to get his net over that. And Mason Bowler will come up with it. Braden Cheney sends that long down the field and was almost a turnover there, but Ethan Varani will come up with it.
And that was a great look by Cheney, who was able to read the fact that Capelli was wanting to bounce that shot in, and he just smothered that one.
So onto the inside, almost a close pass there. Trying to send that over to J.C. Herrick was Joe Hathaway, but just unable to really get a good look on that and pick it up.
It was a bit of a forced pass, but I like the idea from coming around the back, trying to catch Nassau off guard. Howard hasn't been looking inside too much, unfortunately for Howard. It was, I believe, J.T. Herrick who had stepped inside the crease, and Howard got called for the crease violation. And if you're Howard, you just saw Hagel just do it all himself and find that corner. You got to make sure that you have some good defense on him. You've got Varani with the short stick on Hagel right now. Definitely have to have somebody ready to slide over if Hagel gets around Varani.
Absolutely. So Hagel moving in once more and sliding over. So on the inside, taking a shot from the left side were the Lions, but still with it, the ground ball will be taken and picked up by the Lions.
And Capelli took a big shot from Kobe Brown after that one. Was able to get back up, but I don't think he enjoyed taking that hit.
Absolutely. So Ethan Varani once more putting some more pressure on. And a long shot just taken by the Lions, just rolls out of bounds, but it will be with the Dragons, and shot clock violation as well.
Yeah, that was Steckman Buck, who saw that the shot clock was low and just tried to bounce one, and if nothing else, try to see if he can get it on cage, see if he can get a rebounded shot, and just missed the net, and Howard gets the benefit from it.
Absolutely. And Varani now with it once more. And a lot of pressure there. And just coming onto the inside, looking to make an opening, and finds the back of the net. Gianni Karam. J.T. Herrick able to send that ball back out to the center just to find an open Karam there and gets the goal.
13, Gianni Karam, assisted by number 41, J.T. Herrick.
So smart job there by J.T. Herrick just to send that back outside versus taking the shot there.
Well, and that was just Herrick making a play. The assist leader for Howard, taking it from behind the net. Nassau slid over to make sure that he couldn't hit it from hit a shot from on the wraparound, and he just fed it right to an wide open Karam from the top of the key.
Absolutely, and what almost looked like it would have been a turnover by the Dragons, just picked up high by Rory Blanchard. So great job there. After Harrell sends a little bit of a high ball, but Blanchard just puts his stick right into the air and picks that one up.
Yeah, Blanchard used every single bit of his stick there to make sure to go up and grab that one. For Howard, you're in the range here of being able to stick with it. You have to take advantage of every opportunity. You win a face-off and can't lose sight of it.
So Joe Hathaway, Karam. So Trent Hillis making a move down the left side. Trying to send that on the inside. Looked like he was trying to go to Joe Hathaway, but Hathaway and Karam will take the shot, but wide still, will it go?
And once again, we saw the same two guys connect there. A beautiful look from Karam. It was on his left side, which is not his favorite side, but still a good look at it, trying to hit that bottom right corner. Just missed.
Absolutely, and a little under 20 to go on the shot clock for the Dragons. 54 to play here in this third quarter. Still 10 left. Play needs to happen now if the Dragons are wanting to get a good look. And Karam will take a shot, but a little bit of a misfire there, and that will bounce wide.
Yeah, Karam was forced to take a long shot there. Good job by the Nassau defense once again, getting in the shooting lane and blocking that away.
Absolutely, and the shot clock violation there for the Dragons. So Nassau moving once more, a little over 30 seconds to go, and 30 seconds now on the shot clock, but a turnover by the Lions there, and they're moving back down, and a possible goal can be scored here by the Dragons. 20 seconds left to go on the game clock. And the Nassau Lions just looked like they were trying to force that pass across, and no one was there to pick that up. So a shot was taken, but nothing there for the Dragons on that offensive output. So the Dragons trailing 6-8 here against the Nassau Lions. So final 15 left to go in this fourth quarter. Dragons trailing 6-8. We'll be back shortly after this. Final frame here in this final quarter of this Lions and Dragons game. And Eric Harrell will come up with it, looking to give everything they got here, and a shot will be taken there. And a late flag will fly. And I do believe that it is against the Lions.
Penalty on Nassau. Penalty on Nassau. Number 8, Darian Murray. 1 minute. Unnecessary roughness.
So an early penalty on the Lions, number 8, Darian Murray, for unnecessary roughness, and the Dragons will be playing with a man up in this moment. So a shot taken by Cyrus Fridenikos and still picked up, still loose. And Cyrus Fridenikos will pick it up quickly, looking to make a move here. He will take the long shot, saved by Tittman, still loose here. And Fridenikos picks it up once more, trying to clear it. And Karam will send it over to Herrick, but Herrick met with a lot of pressure there by the Lions. That's number 14, Ian Florent. Putting a little pressure there on Herrick and keeping him from making it his way into the inside. A shot taken by the Dragons, and things are rolling once more here. The Dragons back on defense. And a hard hit there and a loose ball by the Lions. Great job there by John Kulo to knock that out of the Lions' possession. And looking to do the same thing again, but just unsuccessful in a high pass there. But a crazy hit by John Kulo. And what would have been a crazy possession there for the Dragons, but just unsuccessful. The Dragons putting pressure in this final frame here in the opening seconds, just right out the gate.
And if you're Howard, you're only down by 2 goals here. You got 13 minutes left. That's certainly within range. If you're down by 3, that's a little tougher. So defensive stand here certainly would be almost necessary for the Dragons.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, James Hagel just sends it into the back of the net once more for the Lions.
Nassau goal, score number 15, James Hagel. And for Hagel, that's a very similar goal to what we saw earlier, where he's just able to dodge around from the left side back to the right, bring it to his favorite side, top left corner once again.
Absolutely, and similar plays are made on the right side of the field. So Hagel once more getting things started for the Lions in these opening minutes.
You gotta get your hands on him, you gotta drive him out! You don't just use the sticks!
So a face-off win in the circle for the Lions. So Dragons defense not getting any break here, but hoping for a stoppage.
Still have both face-off guys out there.
So making some moves, and a long shot taken by number 4, Christian Mazel, will find the top left corner of the net.
Lions goal, score by number 4, Christian Mazel. Assisted by number 22, Nick Capelli.
So just as quick as you said, Mark, the Dragons were in good standing. Just 2 quick goals here for the Lions and making it a 4-goal game. Dragons trailing 6-10. So a quick whistle here. So some stoppage here, but I believe they're going to go back in to do the face-off once more. So winning the face-off are the Lions. So slow movement here. And taking the time off, which is not surprising here, are the Lions. Just circling around is Hagel. And trying to get on that inside, favorite side there, his right side, but moving around still, and a shot taken, but into the body of the Dragons, and Eric Harrell still on defense, but a loose ball, and will come up with it. A lot of pressure, trying to throw it away, and a hit still, and no call there by the rest is a late whistle. And Eric Harrell definitely was hit there while on the ground, but no call from the refs, and is still laying on the ground as well. So gonna have a quick stoppage here to assess things, and we'll be back shortly after this. So quick break there, but Eric Harrell does come off and heads over to the bench for the Dragons, and still not sure, but maybe just a body shot that kind of knocked a little bit of wind out of him. But
I think the concern is that it's his injured shoulder that's re-aggravated right there.
so too many men on the field for the Dragons, and they will take what I believe is a turnover and back into the possession of the Lions. So a change of pace here in this final quarter, just confusion and just some stoppage here as well. But rolling once more. Taking their time are the Lions. And trying to send that behind. And a loose ball. And doing their best to come up with the ball still loose. And just a battle to just end. Picked up, it looked like. But Kobe Brown will come up with it. And sending that ball over to Jamison Smith. Jamison Smith will send that over to Isaac Herbert, and Isaac Herbert will have it. So time still rolling here, and a little under 60 seconds to go on the shot clock for the Dragons. Momentum has definitely swayed here in this final frame of this game. And a shot will be taken there by Joe Patty, but Patty just unsuccessful, but the Dragons will stay with it still. So trying to get around is Joe Hathaway. Joe Hathaway looking for any type of opening, a loose ball, but still will pick it up. Verani sending that behind to Hathaway. So 10, under 10 to go. And a loose ball, and Karam racing after it to try to keep the Lions from getting it, but the Lions will pick it up, and that's Florent who picks that one up for the Lions. So just as quickly as that momentum was swinging into the way up, the Dragons with a 6-8 lead. The Dragons are trailing currently 6-10 here in this final frame. 8:17 left on the game clock. But a quick timeout here by Nassau, and we'll be back shortly after this. So we're back rolling here in this final frame of this Howard Community College versus Nassau game. And taking time once more are the Dragons, and we do see James Hagel, who comes up with it and looking to make a move on his favorite side there, but dishes that ball out back to the outside. So taking more time, James Hagel once more taking on Isaac Herbert, and Herbert able to put some pressure and keep Hagel out of the inside, and a loose ball, and still loose, and just a close call there, still loose, trying to come up with it. But the Lions will stay with it and give the ground ball to number 4, Christian Mazel. So 20 on the shot clock for the Lions. And if the Dragons continue this defense here, and they do so well, a shot taken by number 22, Nick Capelli, and saved by Cheney. So Braden Cheney still doing a great job over there for the Dragons, not getting complacent with the past few outputs. So Dragons getting looks on offense, trying to make a move. Joe Hathaway coming behind the net, sending that over to Karam.
Oh, Verani is open. They're a little late in recognizing it now. Verani has to pull it back, but if you're Howard right now, I have to, once again say, get the ball in the stick of JT Herrick. Let your assist leader at least get some opportunity to make a play.
Absolutely. And Herrick stuck on the inside there, but a shot taken by Joe Patty will go wide.
feel like Howard has been shooting high all day long. Haven't seen many low shots. I do remember one Karam shot that found in the bottom corner, but would love to see a couple bounce shots, something to give a little bit different look to Tittman.
And a slow ball there. And just throwing his body out there for the Lions.
Yeah,
Able to get the possession.
That's a huge hustle play there by Troy Donaghy, who is able to dive across and get into position with Howard not having the backup in position to really get the possession back for Howard. And this is a must stop for the Dragons defense.
So still running down this clock here. Just trying to take as much time off the clock. With 5.5 left to go, just about. So Joe Lazzaro back in here for the Dragons and taking the shot, and a hard hit there sends him to the floor and still loose. Trying to kick it out the way, but the Lions will get it. And loose once more, but still staying with the Lions. And trying to make sure their team matches up, and a shot taken, but Cheney will save the day once more for the Dragons.
And again, Cheney did a great job of reading the low shot there.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Actually!
So a lot going on here in this final frame. Just tensions are definitely rising in the last few minutes of this quarter. So a shot taken there by number 8 for the Lions, Darian Murray.
Looks like he's dying. Make sure he doesn't die. He's close to death.
So trying to go on the inside, and coming out of the net is Braden Cheney. So 10 seconds to go, and we will have a stoppage, and that ball will go the other way.
Yep, Brady Dolan called for the warding violation. First time we've seen that called today, but at a very opportunistic time for the Dragons.
So Cyrus Fredenico trying to make a fast break here and get on the inside, but pushed back out from pressure from the Lions. So Barani send that over to Joe Patty. Patty trying to do a spin move around, trying to get on the inside, and looking for an opening. Patty still takes a shot, and Tittman will capture that one. So a loose ball, though, from a pass by Tittman, and falling on the floor for another loose ball, but we will have a whistle. And that goes against the Dragons. So Eric Carell playing defense for the Dragons here.
Don't stop the screen at the end of the game. Don't stop the screen at the end of the game. Keep it rolling. Make sure you're going to keep the camera on where they can get a handshake.
Still taking down this time. A minute 50 left to go in this game. And a goal scored by James Hagel once more for the Lions.
Nassau goal, scorer number 15, James Hagel.
So Hagel finds a way to the back of the net once more, making it a 6-11 game against the Dragons.
Maybe the softest kid on the East Coast. He's fun.
So in the face-off circle, Rory Blanchard. And a loose ball, just trying to pass that over to Varani, but Blanchard will keep it. And another pass over to Varani, but just unable to get that into his stick. And Varani actually will, so loose, but does pick it up, and Karam will have it. So quick timeout here.
Timeout.
Taken by the Dragons.
Timeout. Howard.
Minute 23 left on the shot clock. On the game clock. So we will take a short timeout, and we'll be back after this. So looking for an open look here is Karam. But he dishes that one back out to JT Herrick. And Frida Nikos will have it, but sends that over to Varani. And a pass by Varani over to Karam. Just hit off the stick and roll out of bounds for a turnover on the Dragons. So the Lions will get the clear, and under a minute left to play in this last home game for the Dragons. And taking their time with it are the Lions.
That's what I said. Do they? I don't think so. That's wicked, bro. See, if I played it on my
So still moving around, and Blanchard putting some pressure still on this Lions offense. Under 30 seconds left to go. Looking for a double team here, but leaving an open man, but it will get reset. The clock will reset, and a pass by Kobe Brown just trying to find JT Herrick is unsuccessful, and that ball will roll out of bounds for the Dragons. So 9 to go on on this game clock, and the time will roll out here in this Nassau and Howard Community College game. So a final score, Dragons are taken down in the final home game of the season against the number 2 Nassau Lions, falling 6-11. So the Dragons moved to 2-8 on the season, while the Nassau Lions will move to 7-1. So the Dragons, will look to face Anne Arundel Community College in their final game of the regular season. They will play that game on April 17th at 5 p.m. in Arnold, Maryland. So what was a great first half just changed pace in the second half as tensions were rising and Dragons just unable to come up with it. But I do want to say thank you to all of those who have joined us during this season here at Howard Community College. Thank you all for tuning in as well. Once again, I'm Jalen Ivy, joined by Mark Winkle, and we wanted to say thank you to all of those who have tuned in. Have a great day.